Hey, I'm gonna show you today how to smoke on a Traeger wood pellet grill a bone-in pork loin. Right now I'm brining the pork loin inside of a lot of apple juice. Got lots of thyme and rosemary out of my garden to add some flavor to it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put some nice German Löwensenf. It's a spicy kind of mustard on that pork loin. It's a little bit of flavor, but it's primarily for the rub to stick on it. The rub I'm using is the Traeger pork and poultry rub. I'm going to flip it around. As you noticed, I also put some saran wrap on the kitchen counter. It makes the cleanup later much easier. Working it in. And the next step is putting it on the smoker, which I already preheated to 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so I have set the Traeger on 225 degrees Fahrenheit. I also set the super smoke feature on, and this is basically the pork loin, bone-in pork loin. I'm going to be smoking for a few hours from now on. About 3.5 hours later, we are now reaching our desired temperature of 140 degrees internal. Let's take a look. I will be wrapping now the meat in aluminum foil to give it some rest, but I also want to keep the sides on that wrap open so that the air can actually go through it. I don't want to cook the meat any longer. This is what I was talking about, of leaving the aluminum foil a little bit open. So therefore the steam can actually escape on both of the sides, and you're not going to sacrifice the bark you created. So now it's the moment of truth. I'm revealing this, and let me transfer it over to the wooden cutting board. And already tell that it's how perfectly it's been cooked. It has a nice little smoke ring. It's very moist. So as you can see, the pork loin. Then I added some beans, which I first boiled and then sauteed in butter with some bacon and onions. And a very German style of how to prepare potatoes is quarter them and then boil them in salt water. Last but not least, we have applesauce. And I also like to add just a little bit of a brown gravy, which I tasted up with some red wine.